Welcome back to Rayman 2, and beneath the sanctuary of rock and lava hides the third mask.
Cheers, new. Çılgın Brewster, Duvalades! Yay! Rayman!
Well, the difficulty of the mission from here on has nothing to do with our new capacity for flight. However, our capacity for flight does have to do with this, with Beneath the Sanctuary of Rock and Lava being the hardest level in the game. And it's hard enough that I realized midway through the level that I do not have the cognitive resources to play it without practice and narrate at the same time, so this is going to be post-commentary, which is not usual for this specific LP. By the way, I completely forget how to get this cage, and this is something that's going to be done in a later video, in a bonus video. And this is why you have pre-runs. These tentacles, they are not subject to being hit and... well, being hit. No, you have to fly around them, and this is not an easy thing to control, partially because usually when I am just using the helicopter to essentially glide, I will generally turn it off whenever I want. Here I cannot do that because the jump button is responsible for turning the helicopter off, but now during this section it's going to just get me further up. Also, it's not easy to fight against the current. I will have to get that lump later. Now, as I do not want to miss that cage, and I want to ensure that I have not missed anything else, I will take a quick look at what's behind me. After collecting this. And there does not seem to be anything missed except for that one cage in the very beginning. Yeah, there's nothing here. Let's continue. Now this is a slightly frustrating part. But attrition gets us past anything. And this is the hardest part of the level, and where I realized that I cannot talk and play this at the same time. And as you can see, I'm kind of running low on health, and spoiler alert, I will get a game over screen here, which ultimately is not really that much of a punishment. You literally just restart at the very same checkpoint where you restart like this ordinarily. The problem here is that the current, the air current, is really strong and it's pushing you forward all the time. It makes you go really, really fast, much faster than you want to go. Which is where the challenge comes from, which I like, which I really like, but this is by far the hardest level in the game. And I lost. And that's it, you just restart this section. Ultimately not really a punishment, especially when the initial checkpoint was at the very beginning of this section of the level. Now, fun fact, you see how these levels are divided into these chunks? They are separated by loading screens. Actually, my old, very old Russian jewel case with a CD disc with this game, it says that the game has like over 90 levels or something like that. Well, that's because what they did there is they counted every single of these sections as a separate level instead of counting the, real levels. And I don't want to miss that. I'm not gonna miss that. So yeah, that's kind of interesting how, like, they're just doing false marketing. Well, were doing false marketing. I'm pretty sure that none of these people are still, like, active. And fortunately, this is over. The hardest section in the game is over. So Fouch or Fooch is another Golem, another guardian of the Mask of Rock and Lava. And I find it hilarious how silver lumps, which are chunks of energy coalesced into a single unit, can be just punched out of an entity without limbs. The fight is not a challenge. And this is the hardest part of this set piece. This is taking a long time. Way too long a time. But finally we have been successful in tethering to that purple lump. And this is the end of the level. Yeah, there's nothing here. Thank you for joining me. I want to save the game, and I will see you next time in the Tomb of the Ancients, which is also the beginning of the end game.